Hello there, I'm Adrian Atkinson and you're inside Jamaica Magazine. Coming up in today's show, we get a closer look at what it is like on a daily basis for the country's sanitation workers. Then we delve deeper into the vexing problem of gender-based violence, how it affects the victims and the level of support it takes to manage the effects. These and much more coming up after the break.
Vehicle operators must always use safety devices. Helmets and seatbelts are there to make sure you arrive alive, protecting you against injuries and even death. Since the start of the year, far too many road users have died. Some of these could have been prevented if the victims wore helmets or seatbelts. The new Road Traffic Act will fine persons for not wearing their seatbelt or helmet. So, do yourself a favor. Wear your helmet, use your seatbelt, save money, and stay alive.
Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, September 19, 2023. The Ministry of Health and Wellness is reporting a 6.7% reduction in the number of complaints received across public health facilities through its complaint management system, CMS. The period in reference is the April to June quarter of the current fiscal year. Portfolio Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton said 80% of the complaints are in relation to incidents occurring at hospitals, 10% at health centers, and approximately 10% at private healthcare facilities. Dr. Tufton was speaking at the ministry's recent quarterly press conference.
225 complaint cases were processed by the complaints management system in the first quarter, 2023-24 financial year, representing, and this is important, 0.003% of total patients served. This means, again, to my mind, important for context, that one patient reporting a complaint of every 3,101 patients that are served during that quarter, that period.
According to Minister Tufton, 90% of the total cases were acknowledged and referred for investigation within the prescribed time. In addition, 43% of all cases were referred, 34% were in progress, 6% were escalated to the ministry for further management, while 17% were closed or resolved. Meanwhile, a further breakdown across regional health authorities shows most of the cases were within the Southeast Authority, followed by the Northeast, then Southern with the Western Regional Health Authority closing out the facilities. The Hope Institute, the National Chest Hospital, and Sir John Golding Rehabilitation Center were the only facilities that had zero complaints during the period under review. Turning the attention to hospitals, major facilities across Kingston, St. Catherine, St. Anne, St. Thomas, and Manchester collectively accounted for 112 complaints.
We assess using the general data, observing the trends, observing the reasons for the complaints, and then try to make recommendations to try and avoid those issues occurring in the future. So training in customer service is one such. Over 4,000 healthcare workers at varying levels have been trained in customer service in the healthcare setting as part of our compassionate care program, which also focuses on enhancing client-facing areas of our hospitals.
Users of public health facilities can submit a query, concern, compliment, or complaint by sending an email to myexperience@moh.gov.jm. 1,155 teachers have joined the education sector. That's the word from Minister of Education and Youth Favour Williams, who says the new teachers form part of strategies to fill spaces left by teachers who resigned ahead of the new school year. In the meantime, Minister Williams says a new process has been put in place to ensure that all new teachers get paid in September. She says a total of 782 files were received by the Ministry for new teachers before the September 12 deadline. Of that amount, 624 files were processed and 158 files were deemed incomplete because they did not meet the required standard to enable payment. In addition, 373 files for new teachers were submitted after the extended deadline of September 12. As a result, the Education Minister says a further extension has been given until September 25 to facilitate an out-of-cycle payment for the 158 incomplete files and the 373 late submissions. This information has been shared through bulletins and virtual meetings, as well as administrative support from regional directors. Minister Williams confirmed that the payroll process has begun, adding that the Accountant General has released $2 billion into the accounts of Bursa-paid institutions. Prime Minister Andrew Holness said continuous evaluation of the new social housing program NSHP has led to significant reduction in the cost and delivery time of the units. He revealed that a two-bedroom unit, which once cost up to $8 million, are now being provided at a cost of $6 million.
So it shows that internally we have improved the mechanisms for delivery, both in terms of administration and in terms of the actual construction. The challenge we have now is to scale up. We estimate that there are about 6,000 households that would be in need of a solution like this. Now, that would mean us delivering, if we wanted to have an impact over a 5-year period, we would have to be doing 1,200 houses per year.
Mr. Holness was speaking at the recent handover of 2 NSHP houses in St. Catherine.
I am grateful. I am beyond words. I am very elated because this is a dream for me and my family. I am comfortable. I have somewhere safe for me and my family to stay.
Police officers attached to the Bull Bay Police Station in St. Andrew are operating in a reasonable and functional space. That's the assurance coming from National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang, who toured the temporary location on Friday at Gems Crescent in Bull Bay. The station was relocated due to the alignment of the Harborview to Yallahs leg of the Southern Coastal Highway Improvement Project, SCHIP. The previous building on the 9 Miles Main Road was demolished to facilitate the massive road project. Speaking with journalists, Dr. Chang said the temporary space was an unused community facility which was renovated to the standards required by the police.
Whenever we're moving police officers into a building, we fix the building to standards and specifications required by the police. We fix a police station for police officers. We don't move police officers into a building to make it a police station.
Dr. Chang advised that constructing a building to permanently house the Bull Bay Station will take some time.
We are moving through the process. We have already put in the public sector investment program, and we do the design work and so forth. And that will take at least a year to get all of that done.
Minister of Transport Darrell Vaz says plans are advanced to expand Jamaica Urban Transit Company JUTC routes to Williamsfield in Manchester and Albion in St. Thomas. The announcement follows the recent opening of the Maypen to Williamsfield leg of the Southern Coastal Highway Improvement Project. Sections of the Harborview to Port Antonio leg of the project will open in a few weeks.
And also opening up the routes for larger buses, privately owned, that can be licensed so we can take the school children in and, of course, commuters easily and more accessible.
Minister Vaz said the infrastructure development project represents the government's commitment to providing safer roads while enhancing greater connectivity across the island.
It will no doubt transform the lives of many by connecting communities, stimulating economic growth, and providing safer and shorter journeys for travelers.
And finally, Minister Vaz is urging motorists to use the newly opened highway responsibly. Data from the Island Traffic Authority shows that as of September 18, there's been 290 road fatalities from 270 collisions. According to Minister Vaz, too many lives are being lost to road crashes.
Let us keep safety at the forefront of our minds as we commute daily. As of now, today we are 16% down year over year in terms of fatalities. but we still want to get under 400 for this year, coming from 488 last year.
That's it for JIS News Today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.
And now we tune in to Jamaica House Weekly to get a recap of all that was covered from the Office of the Prime Minister in the past week.
Coming up.
It gives me great pleasure to officially open the Maypen to Williamsfield Highway. We build infrastructure to provide for the growth and development of our country.
Plus more social housing units delivered and training program being considered for small contractors under the new social housing program. You're watching Jamaica House Weekly. I'm Marjorie Gordon. A step at improving the quality of life for all Jamaicans. That's how Prime Minister Andrew Holness has described the opening of the Maypen to Williamsfield leg of the Southern Coastal Highway Improvement Project.
It connects not only workers to jobs, because that household now has the opportunity to genuinely consider a job in somewhere out of their community, but it also improves the response time of our security forces. It improves the delivery and lowers the cost of delivery of our agricultural output to market. In so many ways, building your infrastructure improves well-being.
The $188 million project expands Highway 2000 from Clarendon to Manchester by 23 kilometers. The roadway is 100% owned by Jamaica and is now in a 2-year defect liability phase.
We're not just building the road, and then when the contractor leaves, that's the end of it. There is a 2-year defect liability period where China Harbour Engineering Company will be responsible for any construction-related, design-related defects on the infrastructure.
Meanwhile, toll payments for the roadway have been extended.
Users will be able to drive on the Maypen to Williamsfield leg of the highway without charge until the end of this calendar year.
Still on infrastructure, Prime Minister Holness says government will be prioritizing science, technology, engineering and math STEM education to bolster development. Already, the Prime Minister pointed to the fact that 18 of the 48 engineers employed to the Maypen to Williamsfield project were Jamaicans.
The government that you have given this job is paying serious attention to improving the things that really matter and can make a difference to our lives. And that is to improve our education system. Not in the traditional way that you understand education, but our education must move to STEM. Science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. It is an imperative if Jamaica's infrastructure development is to continue and be indigenously driven by local talents and skills. It is an imperative.
603 of the 754 persons employed on the Southern Coastal Highway Improvement Project are Jamaicans.
In a few weeks' time, I will be opening the South Coast Highway Improvement Project Part B. Yes, the eastern section, the Harbour View to Port Antonio section.
That's the confirmation by Prime Minister Andrew Holness. He says other road works are being finalized. Among them, lengthening the highway between Williamsfield in Manchester and Hodges in St. Elizabeth, the Caymanas Highway interchange and the extension of the North-South Highway by 30 kilometers to end near Trelawney. Now on to social housing development. Prime Minister Andrew Holness handed over 2 more units under the new Social Housing Program, NSHP, as he moves closer to delivering 200 houses by year's end.
This is a life-changing experience for the beneficiary.
I am grateful. I am beyond words. I am very elated because this is a dream for me and my family. I am comfortable. I have somewhere safe for me and my family to stay.
Mr. Holness said continuous evaluation of the program has led to significant reduction in the cost and delivery time of the units. He revealed that 2-bedroom units, which once cost up to $8 million, are now being provided at a cost of $6 million.
So it shows that internally we have improved the mechanisms for delivery, both in terms of administration and in terms of the actual construction. The challenge we have now is to scale up. We estimate that there are about 6,000 households that would be in need of a solution like this. Now, that would mean us delivering, if we wanted to have an impact over a 5-year period, we would have to be doing 1,200 houses per year.
As a result, government will embark on a training program to boost the skill of contractors under the NSHP.
We will set up almost an incubator, a training program for small and local contractors, to work with them, to help them develop their skills, develop their project management, their financial management, help them to understand building construction, architecture, engineering, all the relevant skills necessary to pull together small projects like these in a quick and efficient way.
According to Mr. Holness, the intention is for the contractors to eventually grow into medium and large contractors to take on other government projects. To close out the week, Prime Minister Holness and other leaders of government laid wreaths in honor of the Jamaican men and women who died in the Battle of Britain. A military campaign of World War II, the Battle of Britain, saw the air forces defending the United Kingdom from Nazi Germany. And that's it for Jamaica House Weekly. Be sure to join us next time for more of the news stories coming out of the office of the Prime Minister.
When the streets are empty at night and many are fast asleep, these street fairies drive around to clear all the heaps, from market produce waste to all the bags scattered in a haste. These street fairies are always there to make our environment a much cleaner place.
Once upon a time, in a land far away from a fairy tale, were a people who lived the way you and I do, but a little differently. Much like the shoemaker and the elves, these street fairies don't leave beautiful pairs of shoes behind, but their art shares some similarities, and it's nonetheless worthy of recognition.
Good night, Donna Anderson, shovel user, shovel and jump, clean up Jamaica.
I'm working in the company 8 years now. I like the job, keep the place tidy and clean.
They always say to me, say, this is not a woman's work, but a woman has to do what a woman has to do, eh? You have to work for yours, eh? Nobody ain't gonna give you nothing, so you have to work for it.
Yeah, enough of the woman work hard and plenty of the man them. I get used to my work still, so I don't feel no different from the man them. At the end of the day, I will bread where I work for. So any work I work for woman. Woman do man work nowadays.
I'm alright with my work. Yeah, I can provide for myself, my nephew, my niece, my child. She don't really like me day out here, you know, she rather me day with she, but I have to make ends meet. I have to work, I have to pay my bills them. But they don't give me nothing, I have to work my own. But people that see me and want to style me and this, because I try to chuck work me do and them things there. But I don't really watch my face. Because I know, say, when my money enough, you see me?
I want to burn fire upon this whole foolishness that people talk from time to time about. If they don't litter, people don't get work.
Yeah, that's what them say some my time. But them can do better still. Plenty of them can do better still.
Enough of them like we, and enough don't like we, because sometimes we have to do with all the truck like all that, so now them not say, you move from here, say you don't thinking truck and them things, but we don't care about that. That's our work. When you litter, you waste the resource of your country. You make life more difficult for yourself and your fellow men. And you destroy the aesthetic, the beauty of our country that we boast about so much.
We are cleaning up Jamaica. And without cleaning up not Jamaica, wiper, disease and germs are broke out. So everybody who work with solid waste, important people them. All are important.
Differently from the sweeper them, we don't like the garbage bag up and we go through the more easier for we. More time we come out and have to wait on the sweeper them like on the just seat right now. We have to wait till the street sweep up, but if it bag up, it's more easier for we. Just the fact that you are generating solid waste, I ask you to just take some time to package it properly so that it gives us more ease of cleaning. And it also helps the side men, side women. They are human beings too. Their job is already very difficult. Don't make it more difficult for them by giving them extra work to do. It is very tough on them. The job is difficult. You know, it's not just about lifting things put in a truck, but some of the things they encounter out here. Bags with human feces. That's common occurrence, especially in the market district. The smell of urine is everywhere and it's in the solid waste that they're picking up. All sort of meat cuttings, fish bone, fish back, fish gut. Just about anything that people don't want, and they have to pick it up. They have to face it. A certain time at the night, when we reach certain hours at the night, like 3:30, 4 o'clock, gunman can strike and we have to run left the garbage some of the time and all them things then. And come back around and take it up, see, because we cannot leave it. See me? We cannot leave it. And we don't like them keep Jamaica beauty and clean.
Well, I stay out of them way, and I don't really go for them though. I still think them happening. I just stay by myself, each time I look a corner.
And yet, despite the tough nature of the job, these people show up not just for work, but they show up and work.
We're backbone of the company, you know. Who clean the rubbish and my backbone, we're the most important people in the company. How we clean up work, enough mess and good rubbish, bad rubbish, all different kind of rubbish.
I believe deep in my heart that if you talk about heroes and heroines, our sidemen and sidewomen are right up there with any because of the human service that they provide and in very tough circumstances to keep Jamaica clean. Day after day, night after night, they are out and about, they roll up the sleeve, and notwithstanding all that they have to face, their head is down and they are going relentlessly in pursuit of that clean Jamaica. I laud them. I lift my hat to them. They are good people. I just hope that more and more people will see them for who they are. People who are there to safeguard the health of the nation. They are the NSWMA. Without them, we are nothing.
Yeah, I love my work. I love it. I love clean the shovel. I really use a night time
And as sunbeams break the night sky and the stars and moon bid their goodbye, the city smiles.
Up next, we find out steps being taken by the government to support the victims of gender-based violence.
The findings from the Gender Assessment Report are commensurate with the community outreach focus of the Bureau of Gender Affairs and the lived experiences of numerous families. The report highlights data produced from the Bureau of Gender Affairs and Statin, which show that 1 in every 4 Jamaican women experience physical violence from a male partner. It also shows that young women, 15 to 24 years, are vulnerable to sexual violence, and this is among girls/women with little to no education and who live with their partners from an early age. It also identified that victims/survivors of GBV and their children tend to experience worse educational and health outcomes in their lifetime. A very practical response to the gender-based violence prevalence data is the development of the draft National Shelter Strategy. Through the implementation of the strategy, we launched what we call the Continuum of Care for Survivors of Gender-Based Violence. And this clearly outlines the roles and responsibilities of the participating organizations or agencies to ensure the seamless process for care of the victims. A memorandum of understanding was signed between specific ministries, departments, and agencies to aid in this initiative. So from the moment we get the call through to taking that victim or survivor to a safe place, there is a seamless pathway between the agencies and the entities that are involved in that process. The Bureau of Gender Affairs is in partnership with the Spotlight Initiative to coordinate the implementation of the National Shelter Strategy. The first national government-owned and operated shelter in the Northeast region and a regional shelter in the Eastern region to provide rescue, psychosocial support, restoration, and skills building. The next would be renovation and retrofitting of 1 additional property to serve as a Western Regional Shelter. And I'm really happy to announce that the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service has allocated $50 million to complete the renovation and retrofitting of this regional shelter in the West for victims and survivors of gender-based violence. And we should have that shelter ready sometime late this year. We're going to be ramping up the community outreach through Partnership for Empowerment initiative to provide financial support to NGOs and community advocacy groups as partners to address GBV. And so far, we have 16 partners across the island, and they also form that network that help us to ensure that we can protect our women. Development of knowledge products on gender-based violence is another area. So we have prepared information in Braille for the blind and voice training for empowerment and self-efficacy skills. We'll also establish gender-based violence helplines. The helpline unit is actually up and running, and the training of social workers and counselors.
To close off today's show, we remind you that to be respected, you must first show respect. It costs nothing to treat others in a way that lets them maintain dignity. To rewatch our content, you may visit our website, jis.gov.jm, to catch up on this and much more. I'm Adrian Atkinson, thanking you so much for watching.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.